Day 3 of the Louisiana Legislature's special session on crime that is coming to a wrap soon. Dozens of bills are moving through committees very quickly. Many are now set to be heard on the floor.
Yeah, but before that, the bills are analyzed to determine how much the proposed changes will cost the state. Alyssa Curtis puts the cost of 3 bills in focus.
Now that some lawmakers have explained what their bill does, part of day 3 of the crime session was spent on explaining how much the bill will cost. The cost of 3 different bills are Wednesday's top takeaways. Takeaway 1, who's considered a juvenile? If passed, a bill in the Senate would mean 17-year-olds would be considered adults in the criminal justice system.
While there's a savings on one end, who's going to pick it up on the other end? And that's what I want to be clear about.
A report by the Legislative Fiscal Office says the bill would save the state's general fund money. They say that's because housing juveniles is more expensive than housing adults. So the state would spend less on housing. But the state may still spend. Since juvenile facilities were at capacity anyway, opponents say freed up beds will just go to younger offenders the facilities didn't have space for before. Plus, there are added costs for pretrial proceedings, and some facilities may need renovations so they can separate 17-year-olds from older offenders. Takeaway 2, early release. If passed, this bill would force juveniles convicted of a crime of violence or a felony to serve longer sentences, a minimum of 36 months or 2/3 of the sentence before they're up for early release. According to the fiscal report, the bill would result in the state spending more money. That's because there will be longer mandatory sentences and an increase of people that would need to be housed. The cost to house a juvenile per day in a secure facility is about $200. Opponents of the bill say while the financial cost will increase, the bill fares better for the overall cost to society. Takeaway 3, parole. If passed, this bill would make it harder to get parole. The person seeking parole would need to meet more standards, receive a unanimous vote from the parole board, and would have to wait longer to apply. The legislature's fiscal office says the bill would likely result in an increase of spending from the state's general fund. But the exact cost is unclear. They say it would cost more because people would likely need to stay in prison longer. Alyssa Curtis.
And all of those bills were passed on to the Senate floor.
Yeah, during today's committee hearing, Senator Boudreaux expressed that the legislature should figure out what they'll do with the savings earlier rather than later.